Hey everybody, my name's Greg, and I don't have a special name for YouTube or YouTube channel, so don't bother liking or subscribing, because this will probably be the only video I make for the next few years. Anyway, just an average kind of motorcycle enthusiast. I have gotten into these fly and ride trips over the last few years. So as far as credentials go, the last 2.5, 3 years, I've ridden in Costa Rica with Costa Rica Unlimited, great guys. Guatemala with David and Motorcycle Adventures Guatemala. Vietnam with Ride Now. Mongolia, South Africa and Lesotho with Johnny Wood. Just got back from Romania riding with No Mud Adventures. Ecuador with Freedom Bike Rental, I forget the name. They were super cool. I don't know, I'm probably leaving some out, but I love these tours. I love these fly and ride tours. There's so much to talk about, but one of the most important things is the gear. So today I want to talk about a piece of gear that I picked up recently at a motorcycle ride out in Moab, put on by Mosko Moto. They make really good stuff. When I was out there, I saw this gigantic 2-piece fly and ride luggage that I thought was perfect for the type of trips that I take. So I bought it. I want to review it for you. I want to tell you what I like about it, which is a lot. I want to tell you what I don't so much like about it, which is also a lot. And then just kind of give you my final thoughts. Happy to answer any questions you have about any places I've been, any tour companies I've used, any piece of luggage or gear that I've used, because over the last couple of years I've really found out a lot about what works, what doesn't work, what looks like it's going to work, it doesn't, or what looks like crap and turns out to be amazing, because there's a bunch of that stuff too. Anyway, here we go. Again, I don't know how to use YouTube. The editing is going to suck, but let's go. All right, for starters, I thought I'd show the Mosko Mule bag compared to like a typical gear bag. This is just some Fox gear bag. I've had it for, I don't know, 10 years now. Held up well, but is literally just a gear bag. I wouldn't want to stick clothes in there because it smells like hell. This is the Mosko Moto Mule. It's absolutely colossal. It's, in my opinion, specifically for fly and ride trips. So here it is, fully expanded. This is how big it gets, but it's 2 pieces of luggage combined into one, and I think it's just the best way to get a ton of stuff through the airport easily. So I'm going to break it down kind of piece by piece, but this is as big as it gets. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about is that this really is 2 separate bags, and they're both pretty big when fully expanded. The way I use this system is I use the bottom bag, or the main bag that has the handle and the wheels on it, for gear. So I'll walk through that. It's got a pretty big storage compartment with a boot bag. So your boot's going to go in there, your jackets, your jerseys, pants, gloves, goggles, all of that stuff's going to go in there in the big section, which I'll show you. Then there's a smaller section that actually includes in it a helmet bag. It fits in there perfect, and then you get a helmet bag that slides right in, and so that is kind of the rest of your small stuff, your goggles, gloves, helmet, neck gaiters, all that stuff. Plenty big. The bottom bag is about the size of a regular moto gear bag. It'll hold everything nice and flat and good. The top section is what I use for clothes and stuff that I don't want to smell like motocross boots. So my sleeping bag, sleeping pad, clothes, non-moto jackets and things like that. They all fit nicely in this bag. Honestly, I've gone on some really long trips and I haven't even needed to expand this bag to full size. It's got one of those zippers that you can squish it down and make it a lot lower profile, and that's been fine for 2-week trips. Comes with little packing cubes I'll show you, but having this second bag attached to the bottom one is really, really nice, because it just When I get to the hotel or wherever we're staying, gear bag can go in the chase vehicle or whatever it's going to do, and then I just have this one bag with all my clothes and kind of necessities handy. So great system. I really like that. Okay, so first I want to talk about the main bag. This is the bottom bag. And just to give you an idea of how roomy it is overall, it's pretty deep. It's a good foot or so deep. It does have really good, I think the handle mechanism feels really good. The wheels, the bottom skid plates, I guess, are pretty good. It does come with the helmet bag, which is cool. A lot of times, like if I'm going somewhere on some crappy little plane and I'm worried that my stuff's not going to get there, sometimes I'll just take the helmet bag, put my helmet, goggles, jersey, pants, gloves in here, and just take this on the plane. That way I don't have to worry about if nothing else shows up, everything gets lost, I still at least have that stuff. They also give you a boot bag, which fits in there pretty cool. Your boots lay nice and flat. Then you can stack all your other stuff on top of that. It's a very, very good bag, but I want to tell you about the issues that I've had or that I have with it. First of all is the material. It just, I don't know, it just feels very duffel baggy, not necessarily gear baggy. Like this thing's 10 years old, it just feels like it could stop a 22 bullet. This doesn't. It might be some crazy new space age shit that Mosko came up with that's super good, but it doesn't really feel like luggage. It feels like it looks like luggage, but it was made out of the same stuff as a nice duffel bag. That's number one. Number two is the zippers. They're just like, they're not like big ass suitcase zippers. These are just the same zippers that I have on like some of my jackets. They just don't inspire a lot of confidence. And I'm kind of a zipper snob. When I buy anything, a jacket, a tent, I mean, if the zippers aren't confidence inspiring, I just don't buy it. So this is definitely an area for improvement on this bag. Next up are these buckles. They go across the front when you're just using the lower bag, and then when you have the other bag stacked on top, they clip into the top bag, and I'll show you that later. But both of these broke the first time I used the bag. It came coming down the chute at the airport, and both buckles had snapped. And I'm partially to blame for that. I'm going to take partial blame because I didn't realize that you should probably clip them together underneath this flap on both sides so that they're protected from getting banged up. In fact, you can kind of see where this one's taken some hits. Maybe that would have prevented it from getting snagged and popping. Maybe not. I'm not really sure. But at any rate, I contacted Mosko. They sent me some new buckles. In fact, I think these are the old ones. And they sent me some new ones that they said were a lot better. Here's the old one, and here's the new ones. And the new ones do feel a lot stronger. I don't know how to describe that to you. But that's the deal with the lower bag. All right, so here we are with the top bag installed. And so what you do is you just slap it on there. It Velcros together. In fact, on the back here, there's a zipper. If you can zip them both together, so they'll be kind of stuck together. And then you use these straps here and here. And there's two more on the back side. And once you've got that, the whole thing is good to go. And there's just, I'm telling you, there's no better way to get this much stuff through the airport than as one big unit. I've had several people stop me and ask me where I got it. A couple of them recognized the Mosko Moto brand, and they were on motorcycle trips. One guy actually ran out and bought one and emailed me afterwards, told me he loves it. It's a really fantastic setup if you're doing these types of rides. I don't know that I would use this. I don't bring this much stuff on regular vacation, so you go to Disneyland, you don't need this. You just use your regular bag. But for a fly and ride trip, or maybe like a big ski trip where you got a lot of gear, something like this would be great. I do have some issues with this top bag. Again, that's where the buckles actually snapped. Could be my fault, could be not. But my primary issue with the top bag is to get anything out of it, you kind of have to separate it from the bottom bag, then flip it over, because you access everything from this side, which, you know, once you get to your hotel or whatever, you just want to leave this in the corner, fine, flip it over and you can get all your stuff. But it would be nice, I think, if you could just access this stuff from the top. That way, you know, you get into your room, you lay this thing down on the ground, you're done, you're tired, and you can just get right in the top and access because this is the one, again, you're going to use for your clothes, your toiletries, all your other non-stinky, muddy, gear-related shit. So, I don't know, maybe they'll work on another version that has a pocket or something on the top. There's really nothing up here to use to access your stuff except for one skinny little pocket, which maybe would be good for some documents or whatever. Same kind of material, it's okay. It's not super thick luggage level material or gear bag level material, but it's not really chintzy material either. It's pretty good, and like I said, I could be totally wrong. Maybe this is some space age shit that will last 1,000 years. I don't know. But I do know that the zipper that they use to compress it down to the size that you're probably going to need most of the time is a pretty burly zipper. But all the ones that you're going to access over and over and over and over, opening and getting your stuff in and out, those seem like kind of flimsy zippers. And so I think that's a big area for improvement. I find that I have thrown suitcases away because of the zipper. You know, they take a hard hit, the zipper splits, you can never get it back together, and you know, there goes your whole suitcase. And if that happens on this bag, I'd be super pissed. So anyway, that's kind of it. I'm going to show you the packing cubes that come with it, which I think are cool, and give you kind of a plus or minus about those. All right, so you do get, in addition to the boot bag and the helmet bag, you do get some of these packing cubes. And if you don't already use these, go get some. It's the best thing ever. So you get 2 of these little ones and then 1 of the larger ones. And they actually expand also with these zippers, which again, I haven't had to bring this much stuff, but they do get pretty big and they're great. All your big stuff, pants, sweaters, whatever, go in those. You get 1 of these for socks and underwear, another one for your shirts, another one for your shorts. My only kind of gripe about these is kind of the same gripe I have about the whole bag, is these just feel a little flimsy for motorcycle stuff. Not bad. I don't know. Again, it's not like you're dragging these through the mud. They just go in your suitcase, come out of your suitcase. But again, I don't know about these zippers. Maybe they're better than I think they are. But what is cool is you get, I'm gonna cover my name up, but each one of them comes with a little card you can write your name and address on. So if this gets lost, it's got your name on it. Each bag has that. The helmet bag has one. Each of the 2 sections of the big bag have one. So if any of your stuff gets lost, you have a decent chance of getting it back. So again, maybe these are tougher than I think they are, but they don't feel all that tough. My bigger gripe there is not much of a gripe at all, but I think you should just get more of these. These can't be that expensive, and I think this whole set's like $500 or $600. I bought it on a deal because I went to the rally in Arizona or Utah. God, I'm losing track. But I think maybe 2 of the big ones and 4 of the little ones is more appropriate. That would fill up the bag nicely, and I don't know, can't cost that much more. So maybe that's an improvement they could make on these. Otherwise, it's great that you get them at all. You buy a lot of pieces of luggage, you don't get anything. So at least with this, you do get 3 pieces that I think are really helpful and useful. I never used packing cubes before I got this bag, and now I don't know how I ever lived without them. I do know how I lived without them. My clean clothes were mixed with my stinky gear, and it all sucked at the end of the trip. So, so that's my opinion on the bags. Final thoughts. Should you buy this? Yes. If you're doing fly and ride trips or long road trips where you got to bring a bunch of clothes, a bunch of gear, and you need suitcases, absolutely. I've used it on a few trips. I was totally stoked on it. I'm griping about little things because people want to, they want to know what to expect, and I think you can expect a lot from this bag or this system. But I think, I think you might feel the same way I felt when I got it. Was like, oh, this is amazing, but it's not as, doesn't feel as sturdy as the gear bag I'm already using. But the gear bag I'm already using sucks to pull through the airport, and I have to put gear in that, and I'll hump a big backpack or bring 2 gear bags, and this system eliminates all that. So I totally am stoked on it. And if they ever do make changes and upgrade, I probably give this to one of my boys and get the new one because I like it that much. I think that's probably it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to edit all these videos, but if I think of something else, I'll pop in here and say it. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Take care. A friend of mine just said I should say this too. If you work for a motorcycle company or gear company, off-road company, and you want me to take some of your stuff and drag it across the planet and back and beat up on it, let me know. I'm more than happy to do that and post up an honest review of what worked and what didn't work. All right? Cool.